Have you ever had that situation before where you start building your personal brand on LinkedIn, you start posting day over day, day over day, and after time you start to raise the white flag in yourself because you don't see any progress at all. You don't see any partnerships, you don't see any influence, you don't see the legacy that you can get, you don't see any partnerships from other people that you are aiming for. Have you ever had that situation? If you're a CEO or an entrepreneur that wants to build a personal brand on LinkedIn and build an influence and a legacy, then this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to share with you the 4 steps that you can take it into another level and build your influence on LinkedIn and start expanding your personal brand and attract more opportunities. Let me start firstly by the 4 steps. But before starting, I want to make everything like very simple to you. So before starting your personal brand, one of the things that you have to be very careful on it is taking care of 2 things, or I would say 2 characters. 2 characters, which are one character and the second character here. The first character in order to build your personal brand in the right way is you. You are the CEO, right? Understand this. Then the second character that you have to understand also is your ICP, or ideal client persona, or sometimes we name it the audiences. Your audiences here. One of the biggest challenges that most CEOs and entrepreneurs on LinkedIn, they raise the white flag on themselves. They start to post on LinkedIn and they just hope is because they don't have clarity on their ICP or their audiences. They speak to everyone, anyone they can see, they speak to. So before you start building your digital identity, you have to have a clarity about your ICP. Who are they? Where do they stay? How do they look like? What are they doing? And most importantly is to understand one thing, because this will put you into another level. What are their main problems or pains or their limiting beliefs? Without understanding this ICP, I'm telling you, you are talking to everyone, and this will take you nowhere. So you have to understand, let's say, I give an example. Your ICP or your audiences, they are investors. Then you have to ask yourself, those are investors, where they are located. Let's say they're in UAE, they are in Saudi Arabia, they are in Qatar, they are in Bahrain, they are in Gulf, whoever they look like, how they look like, and what are they doing, and what are their problems and pains and their limiting beliefs. After identifying this, you have to build your positioning. And what do I mean here by positioning? Is getting here. You go to the second character, which is you. In that manner, you have to dig deep inside your experience and your values and your power and all of the great things that you have. And one of the biggest challenges that will let your brand is like not solid brand and acting like a noise is not connecting. It's the disconnection that happens between your power and experience and values and connecting these problems and pain limiting beliefs not connected together. That's why we said in that manner something called positioning. You have to position your experience, your power and your values in a way that solve the problems and pains and limiting beliefs for your ICP. And from that manner, if you position it rightly and you build your story brand in the right way, then you will be perceived as an authority. But here is the truth. You can do all of this, but if you keep it to yourself, nobody will know that you will be able to help them. How can we do this positioning in the right way? Here it comes the digital identity, where I will go, which is, I believe this is the first step. Here, profile. Your LinkedIn profile. And your LinkedIn profile definitely have here, let's say this is your picture, your banner, and here is your headline, and here is your about section. And most CEOs and entrepreneurs, they use it in a random way. Your banner, your picture, your headline, your about section, your messaging should be always reflecting your positioning. Should be always talking to your ICP. When they land on your profile on LinkedIn here, the moment that they land, and assuming they're cold audiences, they don't know anything about you, when they land on your profile, they, in like 30 seconds, they understand what you are doing in a very simple way. And part of the noise that most CEOs they are getting into, because they don't have a clarity, they cannot optimize their profile in a way that position their experience to solve the problems and talking to those ICP. So first thing you need to do is optimizing your profile, talking to those ICP. And the great thing about this, in marketing, it shows that it acts like landing page. So when people they land on your profile, they understand how your brand is acting and how can you solve their problems and how do you perceive yourself as a subject matter expert and position yourself as the only go-to authority to solve their problems. So after optimizing your profile, then you have the clarity when anybody lands on your profile. Then the second step, which is I would say here, content strategy. Great, this is the second one, okay? One of the biggest challenges also that I see that most CEOs, and most probably you're doing the same, what they do, they keep posting random quotes, they keep posting inspirational quotes, they keep posting something that it's not them, and they end up that got frustrated because they see there is nothing happening when they build their personal brand. They just what they get some likes, some engagement from people that they know them, and they got frustrated and they burn out and say that it's not working. And this is one of the biggest mistakes. Your content strategy is acting like a traffic engine, right? And you have using your content strategy to drive traffic to your profile and acting like subject matter expert. How? How can we do this? By talking again, part of the failures that happens always in that system, people, they are building their personal brand in the wrong way because they talk to everyone. They don't talk to someone. So your content strategy should be always talking to those ICP, should be always talking about their problems, pains, story that you have, your experience, positioning, your testimonials, your authority, your positioning. Talking always to those ICP. Because the moment that you drift down or drifted from that ICP, you're talking to everyone. And it's noise. You're not perceived as a brand. So your content strategy should be always talking to your ICP. So you should act like sniper and not like a shotgun. And when you start building a content and consistent content strategy, talking to those ICP, by default, you start seeing people start coming to you inbound and they will perceive you as subject matter expert or authority in your industry. This is just to drive the traffic and building your personal brand. Then let me go to the third pillar here, which is, I will ask you that question. I believe is, before even I tell you the third one, it's great to have a content strategy, but what if you build your content speaking to your ICP, but the algorithm of LinkedIn is not pushing this to your ICP? Example, today you post at 2 p.m., your content goes to India. Tomorrow you post at 3 p.m., your content goes to Asia. After tomorrow you post at 4 p.m., your content goes to Africa. and it doesn't go to UAE or Gulf. So how can you control all of this? You'll not be able to control this, right? Because the algorithm of LinkedIn is the only controller of this, and you don't have any power over the algorithm. But now, the question is how to take control over the algorithm and go taking your content from here into ICP. How to do this? And this is the third step that I am going to speak about it, which is networking optimization. Networking optimization. Let me tell you something about LinkedIn. You'll never ever find any platform like LinkedIn that you can search about anybody by location, by position, by the name of the company, by their titles, by whoever or whatever titles or whatever filters that you have it, except LinkedIn. You'll not find this on Instagram. You'll not find this on Facebook. You'll not find this in TikTok. You'll not find this in Snapchat at all. You will find it always on LinkedIn. And this is where you can take advantages by networking optimization. Someone will ask me, how can I build my network in that way? In a very simple way. If I know those ICP, I know who are they, where are they at, how they come, what are their problems. What I will do, on LinkedIn, there is always a search bar, even in Sales Navigator. What you can do, you can go and search about those ICP on LinkedIn. So what you do here is searching about your ICP and add them. So why we're doing this? Because the moment that you start search about your ICP and start adding them every day, you start building your network first connection on LinkedIn, right? And maybe most people, they don't understand this, part of the algorithm, when you start to add those ICP into your network, what will happen is, the moment that you start creating content, like 99%, if you outreach those people and you add them on LinkedIn, your content will start appearing to those great ICP. And time by time, they start understand what are you doing. And you build authority in that way. And the moment that you start outreaching them, they will perceive you as an authority in your field. So this is like an authority system, an authority powerful system that works all together. It's an ecosystem. As I said, it's all about, which is 1, profile optimization, then 2 is your content, then 3 is your networking optimization, right? What is the 4th steps? After building all of this, you have great profile, people, they come into your profile and they understand what are you doing, then you start building your content strategy, speaking to those ICP, then you are adding on a daily basis your ICP, so your content will start warming them up. But the last one, which is the 4th steps that will take you to another level, which is, I would say here, for PR. If you're a CEO and if you are an entrepreneur, powerful entrepreneur that is looking to leave a legacy and impact, you will not be able to take your brand into another level without PR. And what do I mean here by PR? Invitation to podcast, maybe. Magazines, feature in magazines, panel discussions and keynote speaking, and TV features. You need in that level, you need to be featured in a powerful placements. Why? Because it's great always to speak about yourself, but if you want to take your brand into another level, you need a third voice that stamp over your brand and tell your story in a great way, where people start, even your ICP will start get more and more credibility over what you're doing. And from that point, they start asking you for making business with you. So your power is always about those 4 ecosystems or 4 steps: profile optimization, 2, content strategy, then networking, and then stamping all over by PR, being featured in podcasts, being featured in magazines, being invited into events and panel discussions and keynote speeches, being featured in TV features as well. All of those great systems or just ecosystem will take your brand into another level. And let me tell you, if you are a CEO or an entrepreneur that is looking to leave a bigger impact and influence and legacy, attracting more opportunities into your business, then it's not only about posting on LinkedIn, it's all about positioning. And if you have a challenge on your time, maybe you don't have time to do all of this, you can use it. But if you don't have a time, if you don't have the skill, if you are caring too much about reputation, you don't want to have it by trial and error, then I have great news for you. So what we can do, we can help you using our agency Unleash. We work with 7 and 8 figures CEOs and entrepreneurs building their personal brand on LinkedIn and take their businesses into another level, leaving a great impact. And if it's you and you're looking for something like that, then we can help you by this way. What I am asking you to do is to book a call with one of my lead advisors right now in the link below, and definitely we will take you and will help you take your personal brand into the other level.